Okay. So I've been trying to figure out the best way to show you how to measure for the human body. So I found a paper plate and I drew a head on here. It's about 3/4 of an inch. And then I cut it out so that I can actually measure head length with it. I usually use the end of my pencil, but here we go. Okay, the average man, we're going to go with the 8 head lengths, even though I like the 7.5 because the 8 is easier to remember. So here's 1 head length. Here is 2 head lengths. Here is 3 head lengths. Here is 4 head lengths. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's my head lengths. I'm going to keep this handy over to the side because I'll probably need it. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the head on. Here's my first head length. And it's like the shape of an egg. The bigger part of the egg is here, the smaller part of the egg is there. Okay. Now, there's a neck here. Don't make it too long. And your shoulders are about in between number 2. Okay, so your shoulders are going to be halfway between 2 and 3. And check it out. I'm going to turn the head I have sideways. And I'm going to put it right here in the middle of the neck, which means one shoulder goes here and one shoulder goes here. And if you remember about the joints we talked about, so I'm going to have a joint here and I'm going to have a joint here. Now you can take the neck part then and slant it down to the shoulder. And I think for our intents and purposes, I'm going to make a very light line that goes down to the number 8 head. You probably can't even see it on this recording, but it's just a straight line down the middle. Okay, some things to think about. Your armpits are usually at 3. Okay, so I'm going to write 3 and armpits here. Your elbows, one, two, three. Right on number 4 is going to be your elbows and your wrists. Number 5. Oh, it's not wrist. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm getting ahead of myself. elbows, or what we call your belly button. Number 5 is your hips and your wrists. Number 6, right here, are your hands at mid-thigh. And that means your fingers and everything. Okay, right up above number 7 is your knees. Right up above number 8 would be your shins. And then right at the bottom of 8 would be the bottom of your feet. Okay? So now let's think about the main joints. We've got our shoulders. And our shoulders are going to come down and come down. 1, 2. So our armpits are going to be like right here and right here. And your whole arm from shoulder to the ends of your fingers is 3 heads. So 1, 2, 3. So I know that my arm is going to be this long, like the very tip of my hands. My leg from my hips to the bottom, hips are here, is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that from my hip to the bottom of my feet is going to be 4 heads. So let's write over here. Armpit to tip of fingers is 3 heads. Legs from thighs to soles of feet is 4 heads. Okay? So this is 1 head, this is 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads, 5 heads, 6, 7, and 8. So my elbows, which we said was a joint, if you remember, are going to be 1, 2, 3. They're going to be right over top of the number 4. So here are my elbows, the joints. Because right here it says elbows. Hips and wrists. So my hips are here, which means they're going to be like here and like here. knees are going to be right above the number 7 mark. Your shins are here. If the bottom of my feet is here, then my ankles are going to be here. So I have my neck joint, my shoulder joints straight down to my elbow, a little slanted in to the wrist, from the hip to the knee, from the knee to the ankle. Now, if we want to turn this into a stick person, remember, we connect the joints. So there's the wrist and the hips, hips to the knees, knees to the ankles, and then your feet are going to go out this way a little bit. Okay? These are shoulders, and they are 2 head widths apart. Okay? And that would be 2 head widths turned on its side. And that's below the neck. Between your elbows and your hips is your waist. And I'm going to use this middle line that I drew. And here it is between 3 and 4. Your waist actually is about 2 head lengths straight up and down, side by side. Okay, so this is 1, 2, and they're horizontal, the head lengths. This is 1, 2, and they're vertical head lengths. And this is the width of your waist right here. So I know where everything is. And now I can put some meat on my stick figure. Okay, usually your arms are going to go in and then come around at the elbow. And here's my armpit. And it's going to come in toward the elbow right there. Okay, so shoulder down to the elbow, armpit to the elbow. Then from your elbow, and I slanted these a little too much, so let's fix them. Should have put my, there's my hip joints, so let's put my wrists like right here. So elbow, and it's going to get smaller as it comes down. Okay, there's the elbow. the hand comes down to number 6. And you don't have to draw a hand for now. You can just sort of do that number like a glove. There's a thumb, there's a glove for his hands. And I know they look long, but that's pretty much how it works. Okay? The torso from my armpits, I'm going to come down to the waist, and it actually curves in at the waist. Now on your mannequins, this area would be the hip area on your wooden mannequin pictures. Okay. Now, your thighs are going to be thicker at the top and then come down to the knee. Thicker at the top and come down to the knee. Thicker at the top and come down to the knee. Then your knees to your ankles, your calf, thicker where the muscle is, and then down to the ankle. Thicker to the muscle, down to the ankle. Thicker to the muscle, down to the ankle. Thicker to the muscle, down to the ankle. And your feet sort of come out, and you don't have to draw feet. You can make them like duck feet. Okay? Did you ever read that book? I wish that I had duck feet, and I can tell you why. It's a Dr. Seuss book. Okay, so here is a measured person. I want to go over it again. 8 head lengths down. I marked them and I numbered them. Okay, I put my neck in, and your neck is generally about 1/4 of the head. Okay, I know that shoulders are 2 head lengths wide, and so I would start at that middle line, and here's a shoulder joint, and here's a shoulder joint. So I know that my shoulders are going to be that wide. I know that my elbows and my belly button are right where number 4 is. I know that my hips and my wrists are where number 5 is. I know that the end of my hands and mid-thigh is right where number 6 is. I know my knees are right up above the number 7 mark. Here's the 7 mark. Knees are right up above it. That's my dishwasher. Shins are between, well, actually they're at number 8. Bottom of the feet are at the bottom of number 8. Okay? So that is how you measure. And the things that would help you remember to get it right, you're going to get the shoulders right if you measure the 2 heads here. And you're going to get the waist right if you measure the 2 heads here. And if it helps you to cut out a head, then I would do that. So this is what we were trying to do the other day, and I'm sorry I rushed you through it. I am going to post some pictures that will help you, I hope. I'll put a picture of this in your Google Classroom. And this guy is going to be a grade, okay? So I don't have a due date for him yet. I don't want you to worry about it. If you get more than about 3/4 of an inch this way, it gets too big because this paper is only 8.5. So you don't want more than about 3/4 of an inch right here. And if you want to measure it with a ruler and make your head length that way, I'm okay with that. It would probably be easier for you to make sure you have everything labeled so that when you actually go to draw things in, you know exactly where they're going to go. If you have any questions, you can email me or come and see me during my recurring meeting from 2 to 3. The address is in your Zoom, okay? And it says if you need help, and it has the Zoom address to go to. So there you are. Good luck.